Well, this is my first installment of Suzanne's Not a Podcast. Why am I calling it Suzanne's Not a Podcast? Because my son Harrison said when I was ranting about who the heck knows what, I'm ranting all the time. And he said, Mom, you need to have a podcast. And so not knowing what the heck a podcast, well, I know what a podcast is. I've heard podcasts before and they're pretty cool. You can pick whatever topic you want. You can pick whatever person you want to listen to. You can just waste time listening, or you can be listening on the way to work. I love that idea because my commute is brutal every single day. I go 30 minutes from out in the country to into the city, and it takes a long time. And people are jerks. Quite frankly, people are jerks on the freeway, unless they're from here. If they're from here, they're super nice. If they're from somewhere else, they're not always nice. And they'll cut you off in a heartbeat. So, again, you're going to notice I should really call this off the rails because I go off the track all the time, which is exactly why I was in the shower this morning and I thought, I need to just record this stuff because my brain just kind of goes, and sometimes I think it's entertaining. I kind of make myself laugh occasionally. I don't know, maybe somebody else might think something's funny. And if I can make one person laugh one day, I think that's awesome. So again, going back onto that train, sometimes I'm able to hop back on that train. Sometimes I'm not. So I'm hopping back on the train right now. It's called Not a Podcast because I have no idea how you do a podcast. Is it an app? Is it a website? I have no idea how people do podcasts. And so what I'm doing is I'm recording videos and I'm going to set up my own little YouTube channel and I'm going to give people the link if they want it. At this time, it's going to be unlisted because I'm kind of scared to get people like stalking me, hating on me because I'm going to share my views sometimes. I'm going to try really hard not to call people out, call specific organizations out, specific clubs and settings out. I'm going to be really careful not to make too many people mad, but oh my gosh, chances are really good I'm going to make a lot of people mad. That's okay. This won't be for everybody. So, because Harrison said, Mom, you need to do a podcast, I decided I'm going to do that. So today and always it's going to be unscripted. So you're going to get to hear what's in my head. And you're going to hear all the little things that go, like where things go. They always end up coming back. I hate the term circling back. If you ever hear me say, I'm going to circle back, you reach across this media and slap me. Well, don't really do that because you'd get arrested and that would be ugly. So anyway, let's see. I will be in the course of my not a podcast things. I will be sharing different things about my life. One thing is I have a very messy office right now. That's kind of how my brain is. There's all kinds of stuff going on in my brain. There's all kinds of stuff going on my floor, even on my printer. So sometimes I will be sharing funny stories from work. Okay, I'm a speech pathologist. I specialize in voice and swallowing and upper airway disorders, and that's it. And Bell's palsy. Other than that, I don't treat anything, so don't ask me if I can see your kid for his lisp. No, I can't. So anyway, that's kind of what I do during some of the days. Other days, I am a very proud, happy Norwex. You guys thought I was going to say a proud mommy of, yes, no, that's not what I was going to say. Although I am. I am a very proud consultant with Norwex. I have almost 60 people on my team. Norwex is a way to get every single chemical out of your home that is bad for you, that is killing people. I will go off on rants about that sometimes. Sometimes I'll sing to you. Sometimes I'll sing over you. Sometimes I'll teach you really silly songs. I have one in mind. And sometimes I'll just share what's on my heart. Sometimes I'll just share what's on my mind, and we'll just talk off the top of my head. And that's kind of how it's going to go. And there's like, usually there will be no script. There will usually be a topic that I'm going to be sharing or talking about. But really that's it. So today, just an introduction. I am Suzanne. I live kind of out in the country, have some horses and some chickens that I call Hannibal Lecter because they eat eggs and they ate baby chicks. So that was traumatic for me. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see that. And so anyway, I learned that just because you're a broody hen does not mean you're going to be a good mommy. And so if there are any broody hens out there, take a parenting class. Don't eat your children. So anyway, and I have a barn cat that learned that she has some crack in the garden. Yes, she does. So I saw a weed, and I will also go down the medicinal plant option versus big pharma. Don't get me wrong, there is a big reason that we have Western medicine. It is important if your leg is hanging off, or if you're almost decapitated, or if you're having a stroke, a heart attack. For God's sakes, get your booty to the hospital. So I'm not saying that there's not a purpose for that. But I am saying that our great grandparents knew that there were amazing healing properties to things in our garden. Guys, even weeds. Like literally my mind was blown. So currently I'm taking a class in, becoming an herbologist. I think is that what it's called? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. But anyway, once I get certified, I'll hold it up for you guys and I'll be super excited. And I will tell you some things that I've learned, that those will be really fun for me, not podcasts, because I'm super passionate about that. So that was a train. We're getting right back on the track. I do have allergies. You're going to see me doing this a lot. I'll try really hard not to blow my nose on a not a podcast, but you will hear that sometimes. I also work in an ENT clinic, so I'll give you all kinds of fun information on things you can do for allergies and all kinds of fun things. Oh my gosh, I have so much to talk about. Okay, where was I? The crack in the garden. So I saw a weed, and I have this really great app. It is called Plantum, Plant-U-M, and then there's another one. It's another Plant ID app, and I pay for both of them. It's a pretty cheap amount of money, but it's worth it because you aim your phone camera at these plants or weeds or whatever, seedlings, and it will tell you what's growing. Is that awesome? So you're not going to accidentally be picking out your broccoli seedling thinking it's a weed, or growing your big old weed and it turns into something that takes over your garden. So I put it on this little plant that was new as I was getting ready to, till up the soil and getting ready to plant the garden a few weeks ago, and it said cat mint, AKA catnip. And I knew what that was. I mean, I know that's cat crack. That's not a surprise for me. So, and we do have a barn cat. And so I looked, which I always do, looked up medicinal purpose for cat mint. And it has great medicinal purposes for it. And so I'm a hoarder. You should see my Norwex closet, guys. It's insane. It's crazy. So anyway, I hoard plants. So if there is a weed, you better believe I'm going to identify it and see if it has any medicinal value. And then I'm going to make tinctures, and I'm going to make tea, and I'm going to dehydrate it for future use, and just do all kinds of fun things. So anyway, that cat mint had such great purposes. I decided to dig it up because we were reworking that particular garden box. And I put it in this little round thing with some dirt, and I've been kind of keeping it alive, and it's flourishing. It's looking wonderful. Guys, the other night we were sitting in the garden, relaxing, just taking all the view of the newly planted garden from seedlings, which I'm pretty excited and proud of. And I see the cat tiptoeing up to this little box, which she had to climb up a thing to get to it because it's on top of a garden box, sits in the plant and starts chowing down. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's not taking a little hit off this thing. This is not like a little tiny, let's taste it and see what kind of thing it does to me. How the heck did she know that was a thing? How did she know? There was no sign that said cat crack this way. There was no ability for her to know that was a drug. But she went from way over from the barn, hopped right up as if she knew she could, her spidey senses knew it was a drug. She starts mowing this stuff down. I did not see her for the rest of the night. I don't even want to know what club she was at. I don't want to know what drinks she had. I don't want to know the guys she had. I don't want to know. I just don't want to know. I'm glad I saw her the next day. I don't ever want to see her on drugs because I don't think I'd ever be able to see her the same way. You can't unsee stuff like that, right? I mean, you can't unsee your sweet mouse cat on drugs and then not be able to see her in that light again. So her job is to eat voles, gophers, mice, keep the place clean. That's her job. She was slacking. I don't know if I need to dock her pay for that. I really have no idea. I don't know if I need to hide the crack, if she's going to be able to use it in moderation. I don't know if there is a drug program, like a detox program for cats with catnip. So if any of you guys know, let me know, because I think that would be, I don't know, I think I'd be kind of interested in hearing your thoughts on that. So anyway, this is just your first installment with you know, this not a podcast type of a thing. It's totally new for me. I will mess up every single time, like I do on my lives when I'm talking about Norwex and getting chemicals out of your homes. I mess up all the time as part of me. So my goal is not to look great. It's not to put my best self forward. My goal is to just entertain you, because like my words are not endorsed by this channel. That's for sure. I don't even know if this is going to be like shut down because it goes against community standards, because it probably will. So it need to be taken off this venue. I'll find a way to get these things to you though, honestly. So anyway, that is that deal, and I will talk to you soon.